Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are going to do a pregnancy Q&A. So I asked you guys on Instagram to send me in some questions, pregnancy related questions, and I got a ton. So thank you so much for doing that. I screenshotted a bunch and we're gonna go through them one by one. Okay, so the first one, was it ever hard to accept your growing, changing body? And actually, it has been a little bit hard. I always thought, because I wanted to be pregnant so bad for so many years, that I would just fully embrace all the changes, but it hasn't been quite that simple. I think I'm perfectly content with gaining the weight and having the big belly and, filling out in other areas. It's just, I think it's just when other people point it out that I'm like, hey. And that has been a little bit harder to kind of take, I guess, because you're not used to people commenting on your weight and commenting on your face getting bigger and stuff. So it has been kind of interesting in that way. And then to be completely transparent with you guys, and this is hard for me to even admit, but I kind of have been struggling with the fact that my pregnant body isn't exactly what I envisioned. And that kind of goes into play with I always pictured, this super round, cute, adorable bump. And I feel like my bump is a little bit different than what I thought it would be. Because I'm pretty tall, I have a long torso. And so it has it isn't quite as round, I guess, as I always imagined pregnant people are. And that's totally okay. And I'm not complaining about it at all. But it was something that I think I had to accept, that I wasn't going to get that picture perfect pregnant body that I thought it was gonna be, if that makes sense. But I definitely do love my bump, and I love all of the changes that are happening, because the most important thing is that it's growing my daughter, and I'm so thankful for that. And yeah. How do you deal with all the conflicting advice you get given as a first-time mom? I don't know. I think just take it with a grain of salt. People always mean the best. They always just want, to share their own wisdom, or they're just excited for you and want to give you advice or whatever it is. And sometimes definitely there's good value in that. And sometimes you just kind of shake your head and nod and say thank you. But at the end of the day, advice is just advice. It doesn't mean you have to follow it. It doesn't mean you need to do what they say. Take it in for what it is. It's advice, and it still means that you get to make your own decisions. As for it being conflicting, I think you mean if I'm getting advice to do one thing one way and then some people are saying the other way. I think, again, just take it with a grain of salt and listen to what they have to say, but ultimately it is your baby, your body, your pregnancy, your journey, and it's your kind of responsibility, I guess, to do your own research or make up your own mind on those things. What has been your favorite part of this pregnancy? There have definitely been so many amazing moments. I think those milestones were really, really just the coolest, finding out the gender, feeling her kick for the first time, those kinds of things were really crucial. But I think my favorite part is just the fact that I am so connected to her, and I get this chance to have something this bond with her, and that has been really, really special. I've also loved what it has done for Caleb and I. We are just happy. It sounds so silly, because it's not being pregnant is all I needed to be happy, but it is a huge factor in us just letting go of a lot of the negativity that we've had the last few years, and to just really soak in moments that are happy. And that has been a huge thing for us. And you guys even say it all the time on the vlogs, that you notice that we're just seem genuinely happier, and I definitely would have to agree. How set are you on having a natural birth? Are you okay if it doesn't go according to plan? So I definitely am set on having a natural birth, because you have to be. Otherwise, you're not going to have one. You have to have that mindset and that determination, and, be prepared for it and ready to do what it takes. So I am set on it. Will I be okay if it doesn't go that way? Absolutely. At the end of the day, literally the only thing that truly matters is that Nova is safe and healthy, and that I am safe and healthy. So however that means and however that happens, I will be 100% okay with it. A very common question was asking if there's any symptoms during pregnancy that really surprised you or you didn't expect. I think the one that I wasn't quite anticipating how difficult it would be was the hip pain that I got. and just how like debilitating it was. Since I've switched my sleeping position and I've like, if you've seen in the vlog, I've changed my snoogle around so that I have like this comfier place so that my hip isn't like directly pushing onto the bed. I have been feeling a lot more relief and like barely noticing the hip pain, so it has been a lot better lately, which I'm so grateful for. But yeah, that was something that I just wasn't expecting it to be quite so brutal. And another thing that I was surprised about is actually some of my lack of symptoms. Like, you hear so many things about pregnancy and how hard it is and stuff that I was expecting to be like hit with this freight train of like just everything, and I feel like maybe I've been lucky, but it hasn't really been quite that intense in terms of symptoms. But even now at almost 36 weeks pregnant, I feel like I was expecting more like pain or more difficulty or harder time just like getting around or living. But so far it has been pretty okay. Like, I'm not saying that is perfect and that everything's easy or anything. And I'm definitely feeling a lot of symptoms. I guess I just expected it to be like way more. What part of the new mom's world scares you a little? That is a good question. I think that the first thing that pops into my mind when I read that is just like outside forces, like other people and judgy people, or you know how mom shaming and mom guilting is. But of course, being on YouTube and, you know, the comment section and having, you know, people in your life that have things to say, and, you know, the social media world, like I'm a little nervous about dealing with some of that, because as a new parent, like, it's a scary world even just on its own, trying to figure things out and trying to do the best that you can, and to have other people, you know, telling you all the time what you're doing wrong is not very ideal. So it should be a learning curve and interesting to see how we'll be dealing with that. But yeah, that was kind of what came to mind when I read the question. I know it's pretty early to tell, but how long do you want to wait in between babies? So I would really like to be able to breastfeed for a whole year. That would be like my goal. And just for the sake of my body and letting it heal and stuff, I think a year would be like a minimum. And so our kind of tentative plan, of course this depends, like if Nova is a dream baby, you know, this might all be the plan. Or if things are more difficult, then we might wait longer. But essentially around the 1 year mark, I think we'll start talking with our fertility clinic and gearing up, planning to do another transfer. So it kind of depends, but our plan is to be fairly close together because I have endometriosis and because of other factors. It just makes sense for us to not really like wait on this kind of thing. And we've always loved the idea of our kids being fairly close in age. And yeah, so that's just our tentative plan. How do you think Caleb will do when it comes time for the birth of Nova? So I think this means like, how will he do during labor and delivery and stuff? And I actually think he will do really well, because we have spent a lot of time preparing, like talking, having conversations, reading books together. We are just really on the same page, I think. Like, we've gone through scenarios. He's really attentive to me and to like what I want out of this process and want out of this journey. And he also has his own like wants too. And so we've been very open with each other and communicating. So I think when it comes to, you know, the day that we give birth, I think he will be a really, really, really good support system for me. Also because he just knows me so well. So he'll be able to, you know, like read my face and read my cues and stuff. But I'm sure we'll have hiccups and things will be a little crazy and hectic. And that's kind of part of the fun though. Do you think you will miss pregnancy after you give birth? Yes and no. Yes, I will, because this is such a special time and it is such a unique experience that I didn't ever think I was going to have. And I am so extremely grateful for this opportunity to carry my baby. Like, I can't even tell you how happy it makes me. But the whole point is to have my child. And so I think once she's here, I don't really think I'll miss being pregnant that much, because I'll have her and I'll be her mom and we'll be in that journey. And when I start missing being pregnant, it might be time for me to get possibly, hopefully pregnant again. So I kind of feel like mainly I'll just be so happy and excited and busy being a mom to really miss being pregnant, if that makes sense. But who knows? We'll see. I'll let you know when the time comes. Based on your pregnancy, what kind of baby do you think Nova will be? Calm, active, diva? That's a good question. I think that she will be fairly calm because I see so many people like on like the groups that I'm in and stuff posting videos or whatever of their baby like going crazy in there, and Nova does get crazy in there but just not very often, and she's usually just like a little bit more of a like chill mover, and she hasn't been too hard on me like in terms of, you know, giving me a bunch of symptoms that are just too hard to deal with. So that could either mean that she's like spoiling me now and is going to come out and be the total opposite, or it just means that's kind of just how it's going to go moving forward. But it will be really, really fun to see her personality come out. I cannot wait for that. Top 3 most memorable moments you've experienced so far during your pregnancy. I think the gender reveal was so surreal and exciting because it was like a celebration of her, and it was like the first time we really felt like super connected to her because, you know, we were able to know a little bit more about her. So I think that was a good one. The first time seeing her heartbeat or just like confirming that there was like a real baby in there was also a really big moment, because up until that point, like, you just have numbers to go off of and blood tests and pee sticks, and it just wasn't quite the concrete like evidence that I needed. So that was like a really big deal. And then also just feeling her and having Caleb feel her move is so amazing, because it's like a constant daily reminder that this is real and that you're not dreaming it up and that there is legitimately a baby coming into our lives. And so that has been really, really good too. Okay, I have been filming for a while, so I think we're going to end this Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm so excited because we're only a month away until she comes, and I just can't wait to meet her and to see her little face and to kiss her, and oh my gosh, I'm just so excited. I just wanted to say too that it is not lost on me how much of a privilege it is to be pregnant right now, and how just extremely grateful I am to everyone in our lives that have helped us make this happen. So on that note, I'm gonna end this video before it gets way too long. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe if you haven't already, or if you're new to our channel, and check out our family vlogging channel as well. I'll link all of those down below, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.